Do men prefer high-valued women, or do they prefer women that are regular Joe Schmoes that they can kind of build up and like mold?
Very good question.
You want to take that first?
You go first.
No, you got it. You got it, man.
I talked a lot.
Yeah. Okay. My answer is going to offend them.
Oh no! You're gonna see there's no high-valued.
There's no hope.
Yeah, there. So I'll just say it. I'm gonna offend a bunch of people in here, but there is no such thing as a high-value woman, because a high-value woman only exists if a high-value man deems her to be so. I'll explain. If a woman that's a queen marries a peasant, that guy just becomes the queen's husband. But if a king marries a peasant, that woman now becomes a queen. So. In other words, a woman, right? A man can transfer his resources, status, and wealth and everything else to that woman and elevate her life. Whereas a wealthy, successful woman typically isn't even going to look towards a broke man's way. So that's the difference. Yes. Men are leaders, women follow. And there's a reason why if a woman gets married to a man, she takes his last name, you know, traditionally. And with that said, a woman's value, whether women want to admit it or not, is not determined by her career, how much money she earns or whatever. It's determined by what caliber of man can you attract? And more importantly, what caliber of man can you retain to put a ring on it? Because women win when they get a ring from a man that they love, respect, and admire, and want to follow. You know, a lot of girls like to use these ambiguous, you know, parameters. Oh, well, I got proposed to. Oh, I got 20 guys in my IG. Oh, I got this rapper offering to fly me out to California, blah, blah, blah. Like, it doesn't matter. You don't win until you get a ring on your finger from a man that you love, respect, and admire. Yeah. These guys just want to have sex. And a lot of women conflate their value with the sexual attraction versus the relationship attraction. Does a man want to wife you up and keep you around? A man's goal, right, is to attain as many attractive women as he can. A woman's goal is to attract and retain the highest caliber man that she can get. In other words, men want quantity, women want quality. So therefore, just like high value men are rare, high value women are rare as well. And high value women are deemed high value by a high value man. You cannot, because at the end of the day, men are the consumers of female beauty. So since men are the consumers of the female beauty, we are the market, and the market dictates your value, not yourself. And that's, we live in a world now where women can sit here and be like, I'm a 10, I'm a 9, I'm an 8. No, that's cap. You have to self-improve yourself just like everyone else. And there is a market that consumes female beauty. I know that sounds horrible, but that's just the way it is. Men tend to be looked at as success objects. Women tend to be looked at as sex objects. That's why a woman's career and her status and everything else like that, it doesn't really matter. It's a plus, right? If you're a doctor, you make money, but it's not necessarily going to make you more sexy or appealing to a higher status man. So a high value woman can only exist if she's co-signed by a high value man, because her ability to retain the man is where her value lies.
Yeah.
And this is the shit that should have been taught in school.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
What about if she just picks the wrong man?
Oh, sweetheart.
Well, that's why since the beginning of time, you know what I'm saying, higher status, families in general, were all involved in the mate selection process. That's why the father was involved. That's why the mother was involved. Like, it was all, we had all these institutions set up, arranged marriages, whatever, to prevent women from picking the wrong guy, like we kind of do now. The reason why we have so many single mothers and single parent households in general is because the father has been removed from the family. And when the father's removed from the family, he's one of the most important vetting sources for the woman picking the right man. Because if you leave a woman to her own devices, I don't want to sound like an asshole, but typically they're self-destructive. Who are they going to pick? The bad boy, the fuck boy, the guy that's emotionally unavailable, the guy that gets her turned on arousal-wise. But these men tend to be terrible long-term investment partners. So the dad was there as the first line of defense to protect the daughter from herself, so that she could get the best mate from a security perspective. Yes, he might not be the most arousing and make you wet, but he's going to keep you safe. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Long term. So a high value woman can only be deemed a high value woman if she can land a high value man. Just like a high value man isn't common either. It's just that women like to, you know, arbitrarily call themselves high value, or I'm a 10 or all this other crap, because it makes them feel good. But the reality is your value is determined by the caliber of man you can attract and, more importantly, retain. And also, men aren't intimidated by high value women. Is more like they don't want to deal with the bullshit or like the arguments, because think about this, right? Men want peace, like you said earlier, and a lot of these high value women, so to speak, they have very masculine traits. So they might want to be competition. They might want to argue. And the thing is, like, when I come home from work, or if I working on my business, I don't want to come home and argue with a chick. I want to have a good time, chill, relax. We go out and get lit. I don't want to have to argue. So most guys, they'll say, you know what?
fuck that shit. I'm just gonna go over here with young girls that are want to have fun and get lit, and I'll be with them rather than the girls that are gonna be a headache. You know, try to be controlling. Like, oh, let's go over here, babe. I got you. I'm paying the bill. Let's go over here. So all these things make guys say, you know what? I don't want to deal with that. We're not intimidated. We're just like, you know what? I don't want to deal with that bullshit. I'm fed up with it. I'm gonna go over here. A lot easier, less stress, and I'm good to go.
Yeah, I always tell women, like, if you want to chase a career and make money, it's cool. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. But just understand it's not going to make you sexier. And as a matter of fact, all it's gonna do is it's gonna ostracize you from a larger pool of candidates.
What's not sexy about another wad of cash in your pocket?
The thing is,
I don't need it.
it's funny
Both
because
my parents are lawyers. They love having that 2 income come in.
no, but thing is,
What's wrong with that?
let's be real here, right? Who pays most of the bills in your family's household?
They share the bank account.
But who pays most?
I don't know.
Generally speaking, right?
Probably your
The
father.
guy will pay most
My
of his
dad
share.
makes more, yeah.
So
Exactly.
her money is her money,
But
his money is her money and his money.
But
So
I
it's
feel
kind
like
of
it only makes her more attractive to him to have her working hard as well, right?
a guy that has money
No.
doesn't care about
No.
women's money.
Really? I
No.
just-
That's one of the biggest. That's one of the biggest lies we tell young women is that
correct.
their socioeconomic status and their careers, you know, make them sexier. If you want to get a career and make money, do it for you. Don't do it to be more attractive to men.
Okay,
Thank
Like,
you.
as long as you said that. Okay.
and I also want women to know this too.
Yeah.
Like, the more money you make, the more clout you get, the more success you have, the more, you know,
The more-
ladders you climb,
Yeah.
Doesn't make
the smaller your pool of candidates. I always say the more money and success a man makes, the more doors open. The more
Right.
money a successful woman makes, the more doors close. And they close pretty fucking loud.
Yep.
Because other guys that could have been good candidates are no longer going to be even viable for you. If a girl makes $100,000 a year, she ain't going to look at a dude that makes $50,000 a year or an average man. But a man that makes $100,000 a year will gladly date a girl that works at McDonald's making $20K a year. That's why I always say a rich man can change a woman's life. A rich woman won't even look a broke man's way.
correct.
So
Yeah, and then also as well, the guys that will play the part, they'll play long enough to get what they want. They'll smash you and then they'll dip. Because then they're not going to wife you up. But MK,
Thoughts.
you're a guy with money, right? Do you care about girls' money? Or you want to see who she is as a person, so to speak? Do you really care about her money? If she got money herself? If she has like making bank?
Kinda.
Oh,
That's a no.
Kinda.
Why do you care?
Elaborate.
Explain.
Because like you gotta be able to know at least how to get $1 too. I know I could get it quicker. I'm gonna get it quicker. But can you get it too just in case I fall or I'm fucking got to turn the other way? Can you
Well,
get
you
it with
probably
me?
also don't want somebody that's just with you for your money.
like a leech.
So I
no
can
one wants to
understand
leech.
that.
Yeah.
Is that?
It's
I'm
just
sorry, I
at least
didn't wanna
like at
speak
least
for
know the formula of how to get $1. I don't care how you get it. Do you know the formula of getting $1? If you could do that, that's amazing. I fuck with you.
My question is though, what if she's a headache? Like she's trying to combat.
I get her Advil.
Excedrin, migraine.
That's funny. Okay.
That was good.
but that's my take on it. I know that offends a lot of women. One girl got really mad when I said that. She called me a misogynist. But
it makes sense.
it is what it is, man. Like, the thing is that anytime you tell a woman there is a burden of performance on your end too, like getting offered a proposal, getting DMs, whatever, that doesn't count, it gets them mad because we live in a participation trophy type society now where winning is ambiguous. You know what I'm saying? Like,
What was that
Which
word
is
again?
wrong.
what was that?
That word you had just said.
Which word?
Not
What kind of
ambiguous, the other
society?
The one with a P.
We live in a participation trophy society
Yep.
where
Mhm.
where everyone is deemed a winner, and it's like,
Wrong.
nah, there's winners and losers. And if you're
Correct.
a single woman and you don't have a ring from a man that you love, respect, and admire, you kind of lost. It is what it is. That's like a dude that's a virgin. It's the same thing. It's just that anytime you put parameters on women, it's considered misogynistic or whatever. Like, it's okay to hold men to standards, but it's not okay to hold women to standards. And as a matter of fact, if you do, you're considered toxic, misogynistic, fucking chauvinist, whatever it is, insecure, small dick energy, insert word here. Anytime you put a burden on performance on them like you do on men, it's a problem.
Yeah, and
So-
here's the sad part. Most women don't even know this knowledge. So it's kind of like they live life on easy mode, having fun, getting lit, parties, yacht parties, all that stuff. And then they turn 30 plus and you're like, yo, I fucked up. I should have thought about, actually, I don't mean to pick on you, but like,
that motherfucking
actually, you know what?
formula.
You've been through this, right?
I mean,
Are we talking facts or are we just talking?
talking facts.
Yeah. Okay.
But you know, I don't have any kids. I'm not married.
Mm.
I make decent money, but I don't make that much. So
You're
Yeah,
a queen
I mean,
to somebody.
life is
Somebody
good.
was
Like
waiting
something
for
will
you.
happen for me. I'm not gonna be like, oh God, like nothing good's gonna happen to me. But like you're right. Like this would have been great 10 years ago.
Right.
Because no one no one ever says this stuff. Like no one ever tells you.
You get
like,
canceled for saying like
Yeah, you
things like this.
Well,
No,
and I've talked about this with guy friends, with bosses, and I've been like, will y'all just be honest with me? Like, please just tell me. And like, so many guys are like, well, no, Morgan, you're great. And I'm like, be fucking real. Like, be real. Cause like, this is stuff that I've already said. Like, my parents are still together. My mother worked. She made less than my father, but she still cooked. She cleaned. She did female duties, and my dad did male duties. And like, that's how I was raised. And that's the values that I still instill. But I will say in my 20s, I was probably wild and very
He was lit.
combative. And I just wish that I had known, like, hey, if you want to get married, maybe tone it down a bit, when it was all just be who you are, be yourself. Like, okay, like I can be myself, but I could do it in a different way.
Right.